All right, time to get an update on our local real estate market with Harvey Blankfeld. He has some pointers for both buyers and sellers. Take a look.
Welcome to our show. This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's. Educate, empower, and engage. We want to help you to make your real estate decisions wise ones for you and your family. We're welcome back Roqui Theus. Welcome back, Roqui.
Thank you, Harvey. Always good to see you.
Great to have you back. Love having you here. I know you had something you wanted to talk to me about.
I have a friend who came to me with her frustrations about trying to buy in this market, and there are no homes available.
It's tough out there for buyers right now. I tell you, there's a bunch of things as a buyer you need to do.
Yeah.
First of all, make sure you're well qualified. Make sure you've already done all the work you need to do with the lender. So when you present your offer, you're presenting the kind of a letter of approval that the seller's going to be impressed with, and the listing agent's going to be impressed with. They know you're ready to go. Secondly, you may want to sweeten your offer in a variety of ways. First, of course, money is king.
Right.
Usually the seller's most concerned about money, but there's other things they might be concerned about. When we're pushing the price so far above list price and doing that multiple times, the seller might be concerned with appraisal. So consider waiving the appraisal up to a certain amount, maybe being able to come out of pocket a little bit extra money to cover a shortfall in the appraisal. The other thing is that consider maybe paying some of the seller's costs that might be traditionally sellers. So say, you know what, I'm going to pay the transfer fee, or I'm going to pay some of the HOA fees, and I'm tooting my own horn a little bit, but I think it's important to have an experienced agent on your side of the equation, because navigating this market is tricky. It's tough.
So we've been talking about buyers, but what about the sellers and listers in this market?
You know, when you're dealing with multiple offers, there's a whole bunch of things as a seller you have to consider. First of all, do the math. You know, the offer itself is not the biggest offer is not always the best offer. And the reason I say that is I just talked about it before. Maybe it won't appraise. Unless the buyer's willing to go over appraised value, they can write, you know, if your house is listed at $450 and they write $1 million, I got a feeling the appraiser's not going to get to $1 million. Yeah. So, and I exaggerate for purpose, but the point is that you want to make sure that the buyer is going to get you the most amount of money after appraisal. The other thing is consider that letter that you have. Compare those letters. I said it from the buyer side. Let's look at it from the seller side. I want a buyer who's working with a lender that's trusted, who wrote a letter that says that they're well prepared and they're fully qualified to buy the property. And then also consider the timeline. Sometimes it's nice for the seller to have a little time after close of escrow in the property, and that's something a buyer can offer and a seller can accept as part of the transaction. That makes that transition a little bit easier on the seller. And then finally, again, I think as a seller you need an experienced agent. I think it's important to have somebody who can help you navigate the variety of offers.
I want to end this on a tweet I saw recently. More than 20,000 people moved to Las Vegas in the first 3 months of 2021. Is that true?
We're seeing population growth like we did back in the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
The good news is, however, it's very important to understand this. We're not in the same financial matrix that we were then.
Okay.
Buyers of homes right now are, first of all, they're not just buying them as a commodity. They're buying them to live in them, number one. And number two, they're fully vetted by lenders. If you've taken out a mortgage in the last 12 to 15 years, you know that the work's being done to make sure you can afford that property.
Give Harvey and his team a call at 702-203-1165 or visit LV Real Estate Radio.